All right, welcome to the second video, the impressions video for the week. Up this time is Kristala. Now, if you are a returning or long-time listener, viewer of the program, this game will not be unfamiliar to you. Indeed, we had an interview with the developers, I want to say about a half a year ago, maybe a bit more.
Something like
Um,
that.
it's like I know it was a while ago, but not that long. Like I want to say about 6 months, maybe eight. Um, I could look up the general time, but you know, it's not that important. Like, but rather, if you want to hear more about the creation process of this game, you can go look it up in the archive slash. It's probably best to search for Fragments to Silicon and Astral Clock Tower Studios.
Yeah, you could
That's
find
usually
us here on Twitch or on YouTube.
yeah. The point is, we did an interview with the devs not too long ago about this game in detail. Now, mind you, how much we remember about a given interview it depends on various factors. So,
Mostly time.
time
We've been through a lot of interviews since we had Astral Clock Tower on on the show. So
and not gonna lie, some interviews just get dumped out of the brain. It's a consequence of doing this literally week in, week out.
yeah, it's nothing as any guess. It's just we're doing this weekly, sometimes twice a week.
Yeah. And so there's always a future thing to keep in mind. But be that as it may, Kristala is out in early access. It's been out at time of recording for about a month now. And so, in terms of early accessness, this is very much early access. As it's, not just, it's got a lot of early access stuff coming.
As you can kind of tell by the pop-in right here as I'm loading in, I'm running on an NVMe SSD.
Okay, that's an Unreal thing. I'm like, that's
it's a bit of Unreal, a bit of early optimization, because I've had Unreal games where they've loaded the foliage just fine.
I guess, but I know that pop in anywhere. I've been seeing that since at least Unreal 3. And it's like, well, optimization is definitely a thing that's in the works for Kristala here.
Yeah, as the game loads up, it has like the recommended specs, and they're fairly beefy. I mean, my computer obviously clears, but I could see like Adam's laptop could probably not run this.
It's possible. Like, I didn't want to chance it, so you got this because, well, quite frankly, kitties.
Yeah.
This I do remember being a much hyped feature. The cat people.
Yes, you are a cat, not a cat human, not somebody who's dressed up like a cat. You are straight up a bipedal cat.
Only definitely more orderly than a typical cat.
Debatable.
I suppose so. Well, I mean, you were given the game, so you give us the details.
So this is your basic Soulsborne, like, think Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro. The list can go on for about a mile.
Yes.
You have a base. Right now, I have the Sword and Shield because they are one of the starting weapons. I can block, I can light melee, heavy melee, and then I have a trigger for special attacks and magic. And then there is the, what is mapped to the down arrow on my control pad is basically your flask. It's the healing thing that gets reloaded every time you res. You get 5 of them per life. Whenever you die, you basically, like in the Soulsborne like games, you leave behind whatever experience you had procured, and you go to your last save point. In this game, they're giant green crystals. You have the ability to use stealth in this one, so you can utilize cover and small grass or tall grass and just like crawling around to get behind enemies and do a finisher. Some enemies will die outright, and some won't. And as you can see, very briefly, there is a critical hit window where if your lock-on marker turns red and you hit one of the attack buttons, you will do a fatal blow like you would do in the Soulsborne whenever you parry. There's a lot of Soulsborne DNA here, for both good and for worse. I'm not very good at Soulsborne games, so I'm very early. I think I can sneak up on this dude over here and show the takedowns. You can kind of see the red dot here. I go up and slit the dude's neck. So...
yeah, that's definitely looking like it needs some polish there.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. There's some other polish bits that needs happening. I have the masculine voice, but sometimes when I do one of those fatal blows, it switches to the female voice. And that's just something that can be ironed out. It's not, game breaking or anything like that.
Right.
And there is kind of randomly, your cat will just start meowing. It doesn't alert the guards, at least, but at the same time, it's a bit on the annoying side. I wish there was a toggle in the settings to either turn it off or down.
Yeah, where's the pet button?
It's real weird when you try and pet yourself, buddy.
Right. Or rather, where's the feed cat button? Because that's usually what that means.
And there is also death from above. So if you get on a high place, you can kill a dude. And then, obviously timing. You can just kind of flail attacks willy-nilly. The only thing that really consumes any type of stamina is dodging. So do with that as you will. And I haven't gotten to a boss yet. Because again, I'm very bad at Soulsborne games. And there is a bit of a, I guess, glitch with some of the big enemies where there's like a second window after you do a critical where you can do a critical again. So basically, if you get behind something, they're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of like flashy animation and stuff like that because shit do be like that sometimes. There is also another weird thing I've noticed where there's supposed to be a like um hold on. I died. Um there's like this random purple beam that kind of shoots out. I don't know if that's supposed to be like you've been noticed or like an objective marker. It doesn't really convey what that is. So I don't know if it's just, graphical bug that needs polished out or what. Um,
Yeah, it's probably best to say, that's an early access thing
yeah,
until proven otherwise.
yeah,
Because once again, this game is very ambitious. Not just what's on display here, but what the developers have planned.
right.
Because there's a lot of content that isn't here yet.
Yeah. Like
You
right
know,
now I only have two weapons. Well, I guess three. Two different
mhm.
sword and shields, which I uh yeah, they're basically the same as far as I can tell. And then there is unarmed.
Mm.
Unarmed sucks because you don't have a shield and so you can't block and the parry is kind of clunky. So it's one of those kind of fun to mess around with things, but people better than me would probably get more use out of it.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I guess as far as the cat model goes, there are several different feline patterns. Not as much like body customization. It's mostly in the fur, but as you can see, you can't really see your fur much with the armor on. So unless there is a option to toggle pieces of armor off aesthetically, if you just want to be, a cat running around.
Like,
Um, hmm?
there are probably going to be a sizable chunk of people that will go for that for various reasons.
I'm aware. I am very. I don't really play the Soulsborne games. I am very much aware of, you know, the type.
Well, I'm talking more about the cat types. You know,
Fair.
yeah,
Kitty can get wet. Anything waist deep is okay, just a bit of a movement penalty. Bigger than that, it will transport you to the nearest like solid mass of land with some minor damage.
it is
So
worth noting that cats can swim. They just don't like water most of
yeah,
the time, unless we're talking about like specific breeds. Like I think
yeah.
there's a Turkish breed of cat that actually really likes swimming.
I think there are some naked cats, the furless cats that don't mind
Mm,
water.
That'd be the Sphinx
Yeah,
breed.
but that is
Be-
well beyond the scope of this video.
mm.
If you can kind of see the white cloths around, they're kind of like the yellow paint of this game.
Mm.
They indicate where you can climb up. So,
I'm not sure how yellow paint became the marker you shouldn't have.
It's
choice.
very high visibility in most environments.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, we've had this thing for ages. You know, it's usually literal arrows and shit.
Right.
Yeah, but literal arrows are not diegetic enough.
And the yellow paint is. That's kind of the entire argument around it.
At least with this, I could kind of see somebody accidentally, drape or something getting caught on something like that
Yeah.
and just being left there.
Yeah, like
The
this.
the yellow paint is diegetic. Just the fact that it's diegetic is awkward.
I'm pretty sure that's a discussion for a topic at some point.
Or do you mean literal arrows painted on stuff?
That's like this is a literal topic for another time.
Add it to the list. Anyway, as far as story, there allegedly is one.
But you have yet to see evidence of it?
I occasionally get taught. There were a few audio logs where some random dude spouted, proper nouns at me and then just kind of sent me on my way. The typical fantasy stuff. So yeah, as far as like what I'm actually doing, it's something called the proving. But outside of that, I have no idea. Plot conveyance is kind of a problem, but that's been a problem for Soulsborne since, the Soulsborne. That you can pick up items scattered around. There are some, like, corruption around that there's a big red fleshy ball nearby. You destroy the fleshy ball and gets rid of the corruption. Sometimes they're out in the open. Sometimes they're hidden. You can unlock shortcuts to get past things faster. Oh yeah, there are like status effects, like I've been afflicted with bleed. So until the bleed goes away, I will be steadily taking damage. And then I can heal, and I'm good as new. Here is where I died before, so I can retrieve my souls, my air quote souls. And yeah, like, the game is interesting, and I'm sure, like, somebody who's more, accomplished at Soulsborne games would get a lot more out of this than I would, only because I'm not very good at Soulsborne games. If you haven't noticed.
Really?
What are we looking at? Oh, I guess music real quick. It's a lot of ambient stuff. Like, you're not exactly going to be going to hunt down the soundtrack, at least in its current form. And yeah, I think that's it game-wise. What are you looking at? Oh, right, I should probably mention. You can get, what you do with your souls in this one is you level up. You level up at the big green crystals. If I can make it to another one, which I'm probably not going to because we're getting close to the end of the review. So, yeah, you can level up various stats. Stats do things as stats want to do. Um.
Well,
Hmm?
o- okay, in terms of pricing, so
Yeah.
because this is an early access title, that's content focused right now, the price will be changing over time. In fact, I think it has already done that.
Hmm.
But currently, at time of recording, the price clocks in at $30. So, and this will increase as the chapters are added. I don't know what the final price is going to be. Could be as high as 60 or something in that range. Because, like I said, there's still a lot of content to come.
Mm-hmm.
So, do remember that in evaluating a price right now, you do have to keep that in mind. Is it better to buy it now, or is it better to wait until the content rolls in?
Here's some of the stats you can raise. Your vitality, various weapon modifiers, and magic. Um, I guess I should probably show the roadmap
Hmm.
because that is kind of useful. This is the June 6th, I guess, version. The last time this was put out. And yeah, right now they're looking to be 7 quote unquote episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they will release more, it really depends. And I believe all these episodes are included with the game.
If you buy it, like if you buy it now, you will get the episodes as they are released.
Yeah.
It's buy it now, buy it once.
Yeah, because there are some games where these episodes would be additional paid content.
Yep.
So it's better to, get that out now than, this is at least what we've been told by the dev. Whether or not
Right.
there's more after this or their stance change is up to the dev. But yeah.
Anyway, so is the game worth $30 at this point in time?
If you don't mind the, early access, stuff, I didn't have any, game crashes, save corruption. Most of it's just fit, finish, polish stuff. So that's at least good. There is a structural game there. Because we've had games so broken they either don't run or we've lost save data.
Yeah.
So it is a usable game. Whether or not it's $30 depends how much you like the quote-unquote Soulsborne like games. If you're looking for a new Soulsborne game to play after you've beaten, say, many of the others, or you just, don't want to drop $60 on something like Elden Ring right now, this could be something to look at.
Indeed.
Or if you're a real fan of cats.
That too. There's definitely some Persona shit going on here.
Yeah. At least from the story bits I did see, at least they're trying to play it somewhat straight. It's not one of those wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you're a cat. You're a person in this world going on some sort of grand journey.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's it from me. Unless
All right,
anyone else
then.
has any questions or comments.
Nah, I'm good.
Alrighty then.
Okay, I'm not sure if Gallic stepped away or not, but
I'm here. I just didn't have much to say.
okay, fair enough. Anyway, so yeah, looks like that'll about do it for Kristala here. Be sure to tune in after the break as the Gallics reviews Riven 2024.